corporate workshops. He has been active in student mentoring and providing them various career pathways to higher education. We welcome you, sir. Dr. Arun Mukherjee, our next panelist, Deputy Dean of Studies and Diploma Program Coordinator, United World College, Changzhou, China. Dr. Mukherjee brings an unparalleled expertise in the international baccalaureate system to the school. His work with IB has given him a better understanding of the IB philosophy and holistic approach to the curriculum. Dr. Mukherjee has obtained his undergraduate, postgraduate, and PhD in physics from Vishwa Bharati University, India. His research work was mainly based on supersymmetric quantum mechanics, and he has many publications of his research in International Physics Journal during his PhD. Also, he received his teaching certificate from the Nottingham University. We welcome you, sir. Our next panelist, Mr. Sahar Bahadur, Principal Advisor, the University of Queensland, Australia. Sahar Bahadur is the Principal Advisor for the University of Queensland and is responsible for the overall strategic direction of UQ's India operations, encompassing institutional expansion, brand communication, and stakeholder management. He is driven by the idea of creating a value-based ecosystem for international universities and Indian educational institutions, both schools and universities. He is proud recipient of the Philip Kotler Award 2020 and was recently awarded the 40 Under 40 Award by the BW Business World. We welcome you, sir. And next panelist, Ashini Malhotra, the Regional Marketing Director, South Asia and Middle East, India and Sri Lanka from Griffith University, Australia. A postgraduate in business administration in human resources with 24 years of work experience in various esteemed organizations, with 19 years of experience in Australian higher education sector, have been associated with Griffith University since 2007, managing South Asia and Middle East as region. Have been successful in leading universities' international student recruitment activities in the region, resulting in increased visibility. We welcome you, ma'am. We welcome Shrey Sharma, our proud alumni of 2018-2020 IB Diploma Program batch. Currently, the student of Degendorf Institute of Technology, Germany. We welcome Shrey. And we also welcome Akshita Agarwal, our DPSG IB Diploma alumni 2016 to 2018, the first batch student of IB Diploma Program in DPSG. She is a currently student of Hollins University, Virginia, USA. And also joining with us, our principal, Ms. Sangeeta Mukherjee Roy from Delhi Public School, Ghaziabad. We welcome you, ma'am. Once again, I welcome all the panelists and the audience to make this event a grand success. Thank you.
Thank you, Gopal.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. We now request Mr. Mahesh Balakrishnan, Development and Recognition Manager, India, Nepal and Bhutan, to throw some light on the growth of IB Diploma Program in India.
Thank you all, and DPSG Ghaziabad. Thank you, Agar. Thank you, Arshini and others who joined me today. It gives me great pleasure to be here. And if you think it should be IBDP, the IBDP continues to be our flagship program in India and the region. And if I have to extend it, I will say globally. Okay, and I will give you perspectives as a parent, as a person whose family members have done the IBDP, and we are very proud of it. Okay, so that gives, I don't need to look beyond my family to look at why people should do IBDP.
Gopal sir, I am not able to hear us.
Are you able to hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
So if I have to look at Shrey and others who are alumni, you know, I would say that their experiences have been what I see in schools across the globe in India, and I've seen what has happened, you know, with my family members. So they have done IBDP and gone into medicine in NTU, which is a very challenging program they go through. They've gone into their Singapore National Service, and then they have gone into National University of Singapore. They are looking at exchange programs with Silicon Valley and Stanford. This is just a taste of what the IB, enables students to thrive. In India, if we look at it, IBDP students are taking NEET, they are taking IIT JEE, they are cracking both these exams, they take gap years, they enjoy life, and they go on to do, a lot of them go on to join the Indian civil service as well. So the IBDP continues to grow. We have over 150 schools, authorized schools now offering the IBDP in India, and many more in the pipeline as candidate schools. And these schools are not only in tier 1 or tier 2 cities, they're popping up in very unimaginable places. Okay. And why? Because school leaders, educators are seeing the value of what an IB education brings along. And especially with the NEP coming along, we believe that this is only going to grow. Okay, we are seeing good amount of growth both with IBDP and IBCP at grade 11 and 12. So, schools, parents should not have any apprehension about taking the IBDP for their students or their kids, or schools should not have any second thought. IBDP prepares students for the Indian universities as well as going overseas. It's a myth that IBDP students do not study in India. They go to DU, they go to CMC Vellore College, they go to Priya University, Shiv Nadar University, Mumbai University, so on and so forth. Even a place like Barkutullah University, Bhopal, okay, students go there. So I will just share with you that where are our students? Yes, they are spread across the globe and in India. So that's something I wanted to share with you. And it's a very holistic program. The IBDP is a very holistic program and prepares students for university and life beyond. So most research papers, university research has also come up with the fact that students who take the IBDP tend to complete university education at a higher rate than others. This is again proven. That research paper is available on the IB website. So somebody is interested, they can take a look at that. Okay, I would like to say that. So what exactly is an IBDP and how is it, what people are saying? It compares favorably with several high school qualifications. They tend to complete undergrad degrees at higher rates than their peers and often in less time. In many universities, especially US, Canada, they give them credits. IB students make active contribution to campus life by participating in community service, tutoring, assisting faculty in research, study abroad, internship, joining clubs, student groups. IB goes to great lengths to ensure validity and reliability of assessment. This is even more so. We are all here in India. We see the kind of news which is coming up with other boards, right? And courts having to intervene. Thankfully, we are in a better situation. And IB assessments are strong predictors of university performance. This is something, again, I've seen firsthand. Okay, the first year, in many cases, is a breeze for IBDP students. So the IBDP is broad, it is balanced, it is flexible, provides choices, develops pre-university skills, approaches to teaching and learning, focuses on reflection. I know students, when they go through the IBDP, they feel, oh, it is so demanding, it is so rigorous. Yes, many people think that an IB education or an international education for that matter is not academically rigorous. Okay, you parents who are looking at IB, I will tell you that, you will say, okay, our students have no time for mischief. Okay, they are kept so busy. Of course, the IB learner profile attributes and the core are central to the philosophy of the diploma program. Students would take 3 subjects at higher level, 3 at standard level, and I would highly recommend students to take all the 3 core, be it the extended essay, be it the creativity, action, and service, or the theory of knowledge. And having sat on university interview panels myself, when we look at the X factor, okay, not many universities globally look only at your academic grade. Of course, we still have that fascination in India for 99.99% or even more. Okay. But many universities look for your statement of purpose. They look at what are you bringing apart from your academic achievement. That's where your core plays a major role. I've seen students very happily building tar roads from a jetty to a village in Indonesia with the tone vest or banyan as they call it in India, and end of the day taking a jump in the South China Sea. That's the kind of beauty they get. Or teaching kids in camps, life skill camps, first aid life skill camps in say a village in Johor, or reading books or doing community service project in a place like Orcha, which is near Gwalior, or precisely to be near Jhansi. That's the beauty about the IBDP course. Okay, so students enjoy it, and I would highly recommend that every student takes the full DP. Of course, students can take IBDP courses as well. So both IBDP and the DP courses are recognized by Association of Indian Universities. They're also recognized by COPSI in India. So do not worry about the recognition of the IBDP. Of course, individual universities can specify the requirements that a student should have taken a full diploma, should have scored so much. That is perfectly within the purview of the university. My personal recommendation for students in school: take the full diploma. It will hold you in good stead. Don't worry about scores. Okay, that's why you're coming to an IB education. You're coming here based on an inquiry-led learning, conceptual understanding, local and global context, focuses on effective communication, collaboration, and this pandemic has brought us that importance of collaboration and communication. We are using platforms like Teams, Zoom, Google Meet, or be your own OTT platform to communicate, and it is differentiated to meet needs of learners, informed by assessment, be it formative assessment, be it summative assessment. Okay, and you have a good base. You should enjoy it for the joy of learning, for conceptual learning, applied learning. Okay, so the IBDP very much is applied. So that's about the IBDP. We have got good recognition. I'm sure Sagar, Arshini, and others will not say no when IBDP students apply to those universities, be it Stanford, Yale, or wherever they want to go into, be it STEM, be it humanities, be it liberal arts, okay, or be it just pursuing your chartered accountancy. IB can enable that. You just have to talk to your college counselors where you want to go to. Okay, I think that should be a good brief for me, and I want to be within time. So over to Gopal and Jacqueline there.
Thank you so much, sir. We have with us now Dr. Arun Mukherjee, Deputy Dean of Studies and Diploma Program Coordinator, United World College, Changshu, China, who will enlighten us about how IBDP helps in college and career placements.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me, first of all? Because I don't know whether you can hear me or not. Okay, thank you, everybody, including this panel, and for organizing a fantastic program for our upcoming student of the school. It's really, I know this, the program has been, into place for weeks, and Gopal is on to that. He is working very hard. Thank you for everyone. And, one more thanks for the participants, those who have participating right now. And it's really, really good to see 185 plus our panel. So it's a really good thing. My thing is, I would say, before me, Mahesh covered a lot. Okay, first of all, Mahesh covered a lot. So he covered some of the things which I have planned before. So I would not go into that, but I would go something different way. Like we learn into school, and for what we learn. We learn, and from where we learn. We learn for giving something to the community. So like yourself, your family, and your others, those who are, like CAS. CAS is a program which you will not find in any other program except in IB, and which will support you and which will make you a proper human. So with that goal, you can take your achievement forward and you can apply your knowledge. But knowledge comes from where? Knowledge comes from the concept. This concept building, IB gives a huge opportunity to build your concept. Like, here Mahesh told that here the marks doesn't matter. Yes, absolutely, I agree. Here in IB, we don't care about the marks. We care about how the students are developing, how the students are basically holistically they're growing, and how they're applying to different universities and what they're doing in future. Like we have something, concept, but with that concept, I would say not correct. Mohes has clarified all. Previously, India had some rigidity that some universities, they didn't want to take IBDP student, but many universities right now, they open the door. Beside that, US, UK, Australia, every university, they take IBDP very well. Now here, why they take IBDP student? Because the global curriculum, this DP program is a global curriculum and it gives the holistic education. It is a multitasking. If you take this program, a student will become multitasking, confident, independent learner. All these characteristics will develop within this 1.5 year or 2 years of time. Become a world citizen, and it will give the best foundation for preparation for university. And obviously, by which you can get the liberal approach and demands. So this is the one part of IB program. Is not the final. It gives us a wide scope of subject choice. It's not like you can choose only 3 sciences. It's not like that. You can choose 6 subjects from different corner. You can choose literature performance from group 1. You can choose literature performance from group 6. You can choose visual arts. You can choose music. So different combination it has, which is important for a student to learn and to grow. It's a freedom of study. You get the totally freedom of study. Breadth and depth of the curriculum is so rich that you guys will be really, really fantastic. Preparation for your aspiration, what you want to do in future. You can build up your bricks according to your building structure, your planning. You will develop the problem-solving skills. You will develop the critical thinking skills. But how you develop these things, problem-solving skills, critical thinking skills, the core component like extended essay, TOK, and CAS, these 3 things we have in DP. I said before that these things you will not get in any other curriculum. So these 3 things will develop these skills, critical thinking skills, conceptual skills, embedded skills in the curriculum, an opportunity of planning, action, and reflection. Like normally in other curriculum, we work very hard. Maybe in a 24 hours, you work 18 hours or 20 hours some days. But why you work? We work for the marks. But here we don't work for the marks. There's beauty of the curriculum. You work for the knowledge, you work for the concept, you work for your global future. Not only your future, global future. What you want to do in future, what you want to do for the community, you learn for that. An opportunity for the community service, learning by doing, this is very good. You will not get this thing, this approach in any other curriculum. It is a project-based learning approach. That is very important. Like what you want to do in future, like if you want to become an engineer, there will be a lot of project. This curriculum gives you the foundation and it gives you develop the your scopes and sequence accordingly. It has inclusivity, diversity, and feeling for others. That you get here. What you do for others. What you learn for others. Learn for you. You are included within the others, not only for everyone always. And excuse me. It is interdisciplinary teaching and learning concept it has, and increased, it has scholarship and opportunity, it has a huge. Like in my school, presently we have 227 students. This year they'll be graduating in May 2021. Right now, everyone got placement and also with a scholarship, fantastic scholarship. Like Mahesh, I'm also parent of a DP student. My son graduated last year. So he got full scholarship, 100% scholarship for his tuition, plus his boarding, plus his fooding, everything free. Obviously, he got good grade, but the grade doesn't matter always. Here I have a student whose predicted grade this year is 28, which is very low, just above the like minimum score 24, 28. But one thing he has that we should not have, he's a blind, 100% blind, and he got 100% scholarship for his music school in US. So this scope you will not get in any other curriculum. It gives you here only in this IB curriculum. It's a lifelong learning process. You become the risk taker by learning this curriculum, and you will know how to embed everything within this short time, 2 years time. You will learn how to write your personal statement. You will learn how to write your college essays. That foundation you can learn slowly from now and onwards. And different universities has different expectation that your university counselor will tell you later. I'm not telling all these things in details right now because I don't have enough time. I don't know how long I can speak. How long can I speak, Gopal?
So you're given 10 minutes. You can prolong for another 5 minutes too.
Okay, good. So, right now, if you see this, I think somewhere I saw the 400 students, they took a survey, and it is very clear from the survey result. IB, it is in the IB website somewhere that Ivy League universities, they're up to 18% higher than any other curriculum. Ivy League universities are world best universities. And unofficially accepted rate by the college standard and curriculum is a huge in IB. IB curriculum students are often better prepared for the universities. That is 100% true because I know from my own experience as a father. And why should you choose IBDP? This is very important, question. Like parents and the student, they might think, why should I choose IBDP? Why not CBSE? Why not ISC? Why not A level? But this IBDP has a different beauty. The beauty is understanding and appreciation for research. You will develop the research skills, which university prefers. You study CBSE, you study ISC, you will not develop, I think, the research skills. Here, extended essay, you have to write 4,000 word maximum, where you will gain your independent learning and independent research skills. You gain your communication skills, which will help you to write the college essays and personal statement. Like I said, critical thinking skills and report writing skills. All these things you develop within this 2 years time, not 2 years, 1.5 years roughly, and your time management skills, all the ATL and all the skills you develop, which will help you in the university. Abroad, the university, they try or they look for these kind of qualities. They don't always look for the marks, to be very honest with you. They don't look for you get 45 or 45. After getting 45 or 45, you may get rejected by Harvard or Cambridge or Yale or any other MIT. My son got 44. He's rejected from MIT and rejected for Princeton also. So marks doesn't matter always. How you're developing these skills, that is very important. And how you're presenting yourself, that is also very important part in IB. If you see the statistics, world statistics, IB statistics, which Gopal can give you later if you want to know how many students take part, how many students they get 45 and all these things, statistics. I'm not going to details all the statistical data because all the data is in IB website. Gopal is, he can give you all the data. But again, if you see the bell curve means range, like, if you get 35 or 36 marks, that is very good marks. I say very good marks. You can be well placed in any other university. But again, with 35, 36 marks, you have opportunity to learn for life. That IB gives you chance. No other curriculum give you chance. Other curriculum will make you bookworm. You study, 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 and get 99.99% marks and get rejected by MIT or Harvard or Yale, some different, Ivy League universities. So here you get a lot of opportunity to learn as well as do something for your good. So this much from my side right now. Again, maybe I'll come back later because I think I'm taking longer time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We now invite Mr. Sagar Bahadur, Principal Advisor, the University of Queensland, to share with us the scope of university placements and requirements after IBGP.
Thank you. Thank you, firstly, to all the students, parents who are spending their afternoon with us. Thank you to the management of the school, the principal and fellow colleagues. Mahesh for especially inviting, so very kind of you. I have a small presentation to show. So I'll see, just let me know if the moment you're able to see it.
Yes, so we can see the presentation.
Yeah.
Great. So I think it's a massive task to summarize, the brief that I got to talk about Australia, somewhat about UQ and how are we dealing with IB schools as well as IB students, in terms of admission, skill building and other aspects. So I'll just, start off keeping the paucity of time in mind. But just to start off for Australia, I'll maybe digress a little. And maybe, for the students, it'll be good to understand, what's that first thought that comes to your mind when you think of Australia. We do this with a lot of students, especially with IB schools. And mind you, this is something that we give them to clear their thoughts, that this is one thing that, you can keep out of your mind. But while you're thinking, I'm sure, you'll think of usual sites, the Sydney Opera House, the Great Barrier Reef, the beaches at the Gold Coast. I'm sure you'll be thinking about cricket, the Sydney Cricket Ground. But and also, celebrities, Hollywood, cricketers, tycoons. But then very often we have seen that a lot of us may not recognize, this very famous Australian. So yes, Wi-Fi came from Australia. It's an invention of Australia. So is Google Maps. The CT scans and the MRI technology that we use across the globe. This in fact came from the University of Queensland. So did the first cancer vaccine. The cervical cancer vaccine came from UQ, led to 90% reduction in the cases. And I think the exercise, what we do, I mean, there are more, but I've restricted because of time, is I think, tell students that when you think of Australia, it's generally about wildlife, open spaces, beaches, cricket. But there's so much happening in Australia in terms of innovation, invention, and more importantly, all this is happening within the university system. These are inventions happening at universities. And I think this is just to open your mind of, how things are. I'll very quickly talk about the Australian higher education, just the landscape. It's the third most popular international student destination, the highest ratio of international students per head of population in the world. 7 of the best student cities in the world are in Australia. The flagship Australian universities are the group of 8 universities. It's a coalition of world-leading research-intensive universities. All of them would be 100 years old. And within the group of 8, you have 5 of the world's top 50 universities between them. For UQ, we are a group of 8 university. We are 110 years old. We're in Brisbane. This is a campus view of what you can see. Anything which is within the surrounded by water, the river, is the UQ campus, the St. Lucia campus. Back there, you'll be able to see the Brisbane city, which is 10 to 12 minutes, by road. And for all the cricket lovers, you'll be able to see the Gabba, on the right-hand side there. This is what UQ looks like. Below, bottom right, you'll be able to see where Queensland is in the scope of, the Australian map, and where Brisbane is next to the coast there. This is just to give you an idea of where we are, how do we look, and this is the stats of who we are. We are close to 55,000 students, 20,000 of those students are international, and a good number of these students are postgraduate students and PhD students, which leaves us with a bigger number of undergraduate students. We are servicing 140 countries so far where students come, and most of them, a good majority of those students are also coming from the IB DP background. In terms of ranking, we are a world top 50 university, 36th by the US News Best Global Universities and 46th by QS. But more importantly, I think apart from university rankings, when you look at the subject rankings, 47 of our subjects are ranked within the world top 100 as per QS, and you can see mostly everything that you're going to do in your DP. It's like accounting, finance, business management, law, economics, engineering, technology, biomedical, mathematics, environmental sciences, education, psychology. So more or less, you'll see that all the programs that you're going to go through within your DP curriculum will somehow be slated, there in the world top 100. We also believe in a comprehensive excellence approach. So it's not just the university rankings, but it's also about where are you placed in the country, where are you placed in the world, how good are you in research, and also UQ has the distinction of getting more number of national teaching awards than any other university, which I think the point here is that you've got great researchers, but they also know how to teach, which is so important for the knowledge to be transcending down in the class. So that's a key point. And I think one of the major factors is that Brisbane has been ranked as 10th most livable city, which also I think contributes a lot when all of you are thinking about, where is your next step for higher education. In terms of DP, so I was able to do some kind of mapping of what we saw. We have seen a lot of students that approach us and enroll. These are the popular subject areas that we've been able to see: business management, economics, commerce, finance, engineering, computer science, IT, psychology, health sciences, biomedical, biotechnology, basic sciences. We've seen physics, chemistry, arts, international studies, and journalism. So these are some of the areas that we see a lot of movement happening from DP students and enrolling with us at UQ. Very quickly, so most of the Australian universities, including UQ, will have 2 intakes. One would be in February, one would be in July. The process opens 1 year in advance for students, and the application can be lodged directly with the university website or through some of the authorized partners that we may have. For UQ, we have a student advisory team across Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Calcutta, which can assist you with whatever, and most of the universities would have a similar setup. From the students, we are looking at your graduation results, so your DP scores. We are looking at your English language for DP again. So when we talk about CBSE, ISC, they still have to give an additional examination, the IELTS or the TOEFL. With DP, there is an exemption that we do not require that, at least from the university side. There can be an additional requirement of SOPs and other things, but there's no entrance examinations to get into UQ from a DP program. A general range would be somewhere around a 29 to 34, but certain programs can also go up as 42. But I think keeping in mind that 29 to 34 will give you, some kind of a benchmark of, majority of the programs falling into that particular thing. Process is simple. You apply with whatever documents you have, academic as well as others. You get an offer letter. Most of the times will be a conditional offer letter with some kind of pending documents, maybe your final results or so and so, which you have to fulfill to get a full offer. Once you get a full offer, you move to a confirmation of enrollment document, which is the final document which you get from the university, confirming your enrollment, post which you apply for your visa. Once you have the visa, you commence your studies. For the COVID scenario, most of the universities have brought in something like a conditional commencement process, which means that while you're waiting for your exams to happen, the final results to come out, universities give you additional time, so they let you commence seamlessly, so there's no break in your education, while you get some time to fulfill the balance conditions. At UQ, we're giving time till end of October. So while there's a seamless start, things can be smooth for students as well as parents. Moving on, scholarships again are similar for DP as well as other students. We've got multiple scholarships that we offer to students in India, UG, of course. We're looking at some kind of fee concessions because of the COVID situation. We have certain 50% scholarships, 25% scholarship. There's certain scholarships which are the excellence scholarship based on merit. Some are high achievers. Again, different range. And I'll recommend that you can go to the website. Happy to share the link after I finish to learn more about what kind of funding opportunities you can look at. More about the topic of skill building, how we are trying to create a difference and educate what you can do after DP or your school, how are we building that skills? So UQ is working with schools in a very different concept. I think we believe that it cannot be transactional in the current world that we live. And it's more about co-creating knowledge. To give you some examples, in the last 1 year, we've worked with CBSE, IB, and other parties where we are trying to find out opportunities for teacher training. In the past, we have done teacher training of more than 10,000 educators in India. We've done leadership training with over 500 plus school leaders. There are 20 IB schools, and I have a slide which I'll come, who have been receiving academic support from UQ. So our professors are delivering content and curriculum for these schools. We've offered our online programs to 100 plus schools, plus entrepreneurship development and whatnot. So there's a lot of focus on filling that small gap where we are trying to give that bridge to students in DP as well as others, to tell them that this is what may help you when you're trying to look for any option abroad. I'll just give you a few examples of the programs that I was talking. So the IB enrichment program was a program run by 20 IB schools in India with UQ, where the faculty of these schools worked with our professors, and we jointly curated a curriculum, and that was being taught in tandem with the school management for 4 months. We piloted this with 200 students, and now we are working on the second round for this IB enrichment program with schools, exclusively for IB schools. We also have something called the India Future Founders, where we train students on how do you develop and start your entrepreneurship journey, right? At this particular age, and this particular India Future Founders gives you a platform to get into a global pitching contest where you pitch your idea. So first you're trained by UQ, and then you pitch your idea, and then your ideas are basically mentored and funded. If you cross that particular stage. This is again something we are doing with schools. I think more than 15 to 16 IB schools have enrolled. So the Q Labs is something that we have started with 55 schools in India, where it's a virtual student incubator network, where nominated students will be undergoing a 7-month entrepreneurship program with UQ. And any idea that is being picked up after 7 months, again, the global competition happens, will be funded by UQ, so mentored and again funded by UQ. The Q Labs will also give space for educators to be trained on entrepreneurship. So a lot of focus on how can educators imbibe entrepreneurship or those kind of skills while they teach. And then we do something again with IB schools called the Create Change Challenge, which is, again, this is just skill building, trying to just plant that seed of finding a global problem, which every school picks up a particular problem, and then they work with our professors and researchers on finding the right solution. So there's that 1 to 2 months of interaction, and then they come out with their solution of what is the best that they can try to do. So I think apart from Australia having a lot of opportunities, high quality opportunities, of how a university like UQ and many other Australian universities welcome DP students, it's also about universities getting more and more conscious about allowing that education to be transferred to India and do a lot more within the your DP1 and DP2 years to build that skill, to tell you more about what we have. And this is just a testimony of what we have started just in the last 1.5 years, and there's much more to come. So I think this is all what I have. Any other questions very specific to admissions and all, you can always reach out. But I think that was just to tell you that there's a lot of acceptability, and we really enjoy the company of IB students when they reach out, because of a very global mindset that they have. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We now request Ms. Ashini Malhotra, Regional Marketing Director, South Asia and Middle East Asia and Sri Lanka, Griffith University, Australia, to provide more information about university placements and requirements after IBDP. Over to you, ma'am.
Hi, thank you so much. It's been exciting so far listening to Sagar and my other colleagues talking about what IB diploma acceptability is throughout the world. And I actually resonate and I agree with all of them that yes, we truly enjoy working with IB diploma students, IBDP students, and they are the ones who shine out really bright. Now, to give you an classic example, about 3 or 4 years ago, I met an IBDP student in Chennai who did wonderfully, applied for a scholarship, got a scholarship, and now he's currently working as a diversity sports coordinator at the Gold Coast. He studied exercise science at Griffith University with 50% scholarship he got. So yeah, they really do well because it's not just academic. They learn they also learn about extracurricular activities. They imbibe the values. They know how to present themselves. They've done a lot more. They have much more skills than any other regular school student would have. So I'll quickly share a presentation with you all to give a brief on what do we require from an IBDP student. Okay. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay, let's push on to the slideshow. Perfect. Now, it's just to give you an example. A few weeks ago, my daughter, who's in grade 11 right now, she asked me a question about how do I start if I have to apply to a university overseas. And same with the questions of her friends. I sat down with them, gave a concrete example of how things are to be done and what do you require. So where does the journey of an international student begins? What does an international student mean? And what it is? How do I know that I'm an international student? When do I have to start? So most importantly, we have to start with what do we want to do after your IBDP or while you've chosen your IBDP path. What is it that you want to do? Which country you want to go? Of course, I'm gonna root for Australia. This is the country you should travel. And thank you, Sagar, for covering that pitch for me. So Australia should be the destination. Of course, Brisbane, Gold Coast is where we come from. UQ is in Brisbane. We are in Brisbane as well as Gold Coast. Weather is nice, subtropical, and friendly people. Fees affordability, student support services. Which university offers what kind of support, whether I get enough student support while I'm there or not. What are the scholarships being given to the students? What is the application process? And most importantly, when do I start? Like I said, we are located in Queensland, Australia. So having 5 campuses, 3 are itself in Brisbane, which is the 10th most livable cities in 2021. Nathan, Mount Druitt, and South Bank are our Brisbane campuses. Gold Coast is the largest campus of Griffith University with 18,000 students just on one campus. And Logan, which is between Gold Coast and Brisbane. Talking a little bit about Griffith University, Griffith is ranked in top 2% universities worldwide. With the recent QS ranking, we are in top 300 university, ranked 290 overall. We started in 1974. A very comprehensive university, started with Environment School, still the largest environment school of Australia, committed to creating an equitable and environmentally sustainable society. 5-star rated for overall educational experience, and that's by Good University's Guide. Griffith in numbers, if we have to talk about, like I said, we have 5 campuses with 50,000 students studying across campus, 9,000 international students coming from 130 countries. So we're really proud of the diversity that we have on campus. We have students from India, we have students from China, we have students from Europe, Sweden, we've got students from US, Africa. You name the country, we have students from those countries. So we're really proud of the diversity that you can see on campus. More than 200 degrees and more than 30 research centers that Griffith University has. Talking about the campus and how it looks, this is our Gold Coast campus. This is the Surfers Paradise skyline that you can see on the screen. And Griffith is very strategically co-located with Gold Coast University Hospital and Gold Coast Private Hospital, giving enough placement facilities to Griffith medical students. Very well connected with the public transportation, so 2 tram stations right on Griffith University campus. We've got Griffith Business School, Griffith Health Center, Griffith University Village accommodations right within the university parameters. Nathan campus, this is where we started with. This is in a reserve forest, just about 15 minutes away from the city center. Mount Greward campus, which is co-located with Griffith College, which is our pathway provider. If a student is not eligible for a direct entry into university, they can come through a Griffith College pathway. This is South Bank. This is, and we have Griffith Film School, Griffith College of Arts. Griffith College of Arts, Queensland College of Arts is one of the oldest College of Arts in Australia. Queensland Conservatorium by Griffith University. So all these 3 creative arts institutions within Griffith University are located at the South Bank campus. It's a cultural hub of Brisbane, so that's very strategically located again. And Logan campus. These are the subject rankings of Griffith University, ranked in top 10, which is nursing, number 1 in Australia, number 2 worldwide, number 5 worldwide, and number 1 in Australia for hospitality. Talk about marine and ocean engineering, law, criminology, they're all in top 100, ranked top 100. Griffith is ranked 9th in Australia for total subject rankings and in both QS and Shanghai rankings. More than 200 degrees offered, be it a Bachelor of Business, Bachelor of Medical Science, Pharmacy, you talk of Bachelor of IT, Bachelor of Intelligent and Digital Technologies, Arts, Law, Film, Acting. Most of the degrees are offered at Griffith University. Griffith has a very flexible entry system. It's a trimester model that we offer. You have flexibility to apply either for a February intake or a June-July intake or an October-November intake. So depending on the results declaration, you can apply for those to start your degrees accordingly. Just skip through Griffith College. Now, when we talk of student support, dedicated student support services we offer with English Help, International Student Advisory Body. We have international student advisors located at all the campus. Whosoever is enrolled at Griffith University in various degrees can talk to international student advisors about their academic issues or their personal issues. They're there to help. If they can't help them directly, they can point them in the right direction. So that kind of support is available on campus. We of course have health and well-being for all the students and disability services available 24/7 for the students. Career and employment is an integral part of Griffith University support system that we offer. We get students to become job ready, finding work while they are studying or after they graduate, writing resumes, covering letter, attending workshops, learning how to network, finding a mentor. So these are some of the services that we offer to the students. We normally encourage students to start preparing well in advance, not in their last semester of a 3 or a 4-year degree, but they must start well in advance, let's say in the final year, first semester of the final year, or maybe a semester earlier, to have a plan in place for their placement after the completion of the degrees. Students, we've seen students who've got a plan, who've been engaged in university activity throughout, are better placed students and they get their jobs quickly than other students. Now, Business Plus is a free Griffith Business School program designed to help students to get a head start in a career through a range of co-curricular experiences. So these are the activities like plan your career, build professional identity, workshops on self-awareness applications. So each step of the way they keep getting a tick and eventually they get a Business Plus certificate and a Griffith digital badge. This actually reflects in their resume. So this is something that we especially do with higher achievers, and IBDP students really fall into this category. Another support that we have is Griffith Mates, our flagship program, wherein Griffith Mates currently is being offered online as well as face-to-face for the students. This is a part of planned networking student support services, wherein a new student makes new friends on campus. They can practice English while they're on campus. Maybe they could be from different parts of the world. We have free activities and events they can participate in so that they feel connected. They can have a community service, beach care, bush care, and they can sign them up for International Buddy Program. Range of scholarships that are being offered. We have student academic merit scholarships that are being offered with aggregate score of 31. The scholarship covers 20% of the tuition fee. There's an academic excellence scholarship wherein aggregate score of 34 is required and it covers 25% of the total tuition fee cost. Griffith Remarkable Scholarship, it's a 50% scholarship of the entire duration that we offer. However, for this, a separate application is required. So there's a link given below. Anyone can go through the link and will get more details on it. There are certain deadlines. Closing date for the applications for Griffith Remarkable Scholarships apply. Now, application process is fairly simple. A student needs to meet with the IB score for a entry into any degree that they like to do. For an example, for Bachelor of Engineering, they require 30 aggregate in IB-DP. For a Bachelor of Medical Science, we require 39 aggregate in IB-DP. So different programs will have a different IB score, aggregate score requirement, and so will be the nursing. So will be the IELTS score for nursing, social work, law, and medical science programs. So we've got IELTS mandatory for professional recognition programs, which I have mentioned it on the slide. Now, importantly, IB-DP students they are eligible to get credit transfers towards their degree at Griffith University, which actually reduces the duration up to 1 full semester. So they can apply for credit transfers. So instead of 3-year degree, they end up with 2.5-year degree. So this is a snapshot of what we offer. Griffith Health offers credit for foundation year courses for students who have undertaken specific studies as part of their IB diploma. So this can be found on our website. Application process, fairly simple. You visit this link and it gets you to the Griffith University application page. You can apply through either directly or through any of our agent network across the country. And you put in your documentation, whatever mark sheets that you have, and we give you a conditional or unconditional offer letter, depending on the documents received. Once the offer letter is been generated, you've got to accept it and submit a statement of purpose. So we will send you a detailed information of what is required after that stage. In case you need to know more about Griffith or want to talk to any of peers, any of the students who are currently studying at Griffith, we do offer peer-to-peer platform services for the students. So you can post in your question, they'll come back to you and they'll send you their responses as a student. So that's another service that we have. We are organizing open house for international applicants from 12th of July, Monday till Friday, 20th of August. Feel free to come and chat with us. There are a lot of sessions on arts, education, law, sciences, medicine, Internet of Things. So a lot of academic sessions we are holding. So feel free to come and register for that. You can connect with us. So these are the handles that we have. Thank you. Thank you for giving this opportunity, and thank you, Madam Principal, for reaching out. It was really a pleasure.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. We take immense pride in our alumni who keep coming back to us and in the experiences they have. We now invite Shrey Sharma, our alumnus batch 2020, a student at Degendorf Institute of Technology, Germany, to share his experiences in IB-DP at DPSG.
Hi, am I audible? Yeah,
Yes, sure. Yes, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for such a great presentations. The IB family, Gopal sir, my IB teachers, and all the DPSG students. Yeah, it's been a long time seeing you. So yeah, hi everyone. I'm Shrey Sharma. Currently, I'm studying in Deggendorf Institute of Technology in Bavaria, Germany, pursuing international management, and I would like to share some insights with you about IB and some major questions which you might be feeling before entering into the IB. So yeah, I wrote certain questions about you to help you throughout the process. So yeah, planning to take IB? Are you doubtful? Huh? I'm here to simplify. Let's start by asking you some questions. First, you have to ask yourself, like self-rectify, do you want to study abroad? Like, and the second thing, can your parents afford you to send abroad? And are they willing to send you? Because many a times in India, it happens that people are from middle-aged groups or low middle-aged groups, and they do want to go to abroad, but they actually, in a realistic manner, cannot afford that. And other than that, it is a willingness of the parents. They have this mindset that their child might not come back after studies and might remain there. So yeah, that's true. Just sit with your parents, discuss about it, and then when you have discussed about it, be true to yourself. Know what your budget is and be transparent with yourself and search accordingly. Yeah, search accordingly. Look for the universities where you can find scholarships, to the countries where you have specific criterias or have a free tuition or scholarships. Yeah. Then, now that you have done that and found the supportive data, you can show that to your parents. And why is it important? Because to be true, parents are investing on you, and they have to have this assurance that the investment should be a fruitful one and it will be beneficial. So for that, you have to show certain evidences such as scholarship details and the prospectus of IB and its recognition abroad, right? So that's how you'll convince them, not by faking out and saying, giving hoax information. Show them your laptop with the proper links. Yeah, and that's how you come to IB. Welcome to IB. That's how I came to IB. And now that you are here, what to expect? Well, the basic things which I noted down for IB, which I experienced, was one-to-one teaching experience. I cannot emphasize this more how interesting it is to study with just 2 to 3 students and a teacher teaching. That literally enhances your intellectual mindset to a very high level. The practical way of learning. You have to understand that there will be core subjects. Basically, the practical way is clearly mentioned in the IBDP for the scientific subjects such as biology, chemistry, and physics, and even mathematics, where you have to give certain experiments, average to be minimum of around 15. Yeah, those are compulsory. For the business ones, you have to give presentations similar for the economics part. The most important, which I have to emphasize on it, is the strong scientific writing knowledge, which are the IEAs and extended essays. In my first semester in Tihade, I was given this curriculum semester of scientific writing and knowledge, where my professor was teaching from the scratch on how to write thesis and all. And I was like, okay, I have already studied it, and even in details. So yeah, I didn't had to attend that lecture, and I got a transfer credit for it. And that was really, really helpful, because you have to understand that scientific knowledge plays a key role when you have to write thesis and in a higher studies, because every bachelor or master is ended with a thesis. Yeah. Then there are a variety of subjects, and with every subject you get a possibility of a career. And this is what gives an IB advantage over CBSE. You are not restricted to PCM, PCB, or PCMB. You have 6 subjects, and even though it is classified into HLs and SLs, the higher levels and the standard levels, even the SLs have the ability to make that subject into a career. I myself chose business management, which was my standard level subject, into my core curriculum, because it's international management. And how I emphasize on this is because, imagine, I had this mindset to go for medicine. In IB, I searched for thesis and all. I got interested into the biotechnology. I wrote a thesis on environment. I got emphasized by the environment one. So I started looking for environmental engineering programs. There was this huge doubt of prospectors, and I was really interested in business management. At the end, I landed into business management. You have to understand this. You are a person. You are not a machine that you are computerized into a particular part. Yeah. So if you need a certain change to improve yourself, you should go with the flow, go with the change. There's no harm if you don't want to do engineering, went into management. That's not a harm, to be true. You are just being true to yourself what you don't like. And IB gives you that flexibility to be true. So why choose IB? You might ask me that we can study abroad with CBSE too, as it was mentioned in the Griffith and Queensland University. The scholarships are available for the IB and similarly for the CBSE. But what makes IB different on the ethical basis is that it makes you a global citizen, and it changes you into a person who is accepting the differences of the society, this culture. What you actually perform in CAS makes you capable of having that big mindset of accepting other people from different race, different religions, and of different socioeconomic backgrounds, from poor to rich, and you are able to easily communicate with them and connect with them, because that's what the essence of being a global citizen is. Yeah. And as they mentioned in Queensland and Griffith, that IB is recognized by them, and it is actually a reputed one. I actually visited to around 100 to 150 university counselors, the university recognized counselors, like the official ones. Yeah. And then when they used to see my transcript, they used to get like this smile, oh, you are an IB student, wow. And when they go through the grades, oh, that's a 6, that's a 7, that's amazing, because they know the value of 6 and 7 there. Yeah. As you saw, there are special scholarships and transfer credits, especially in the United States and Canada, because transfer credits generally apply to a 4-year degree. Yeah. And it can actually reduce your study schedule up to 1 year. So yeah, if it's a 4-year, it can get up to 3 years or less in certain cases, as we saw in Australia, where it was 2.5. Okay. And yeah, and it is the only possible route for you to study in Germany. And why I'm emphasizing on this Germany part, I'll let you know in this. Because, we do think that studying abroad is a thing of rich, is a thing of people who have high socioeconomic backgrounds. Yeah. Because even if you ask any consultant, they will say that it's around 50 to 60 lakhs. You have to, this is the average budget, and it can exceed to whatever limits. The sky is the limit. Yeah, it depends on the person's grade. What makes Germany difference is what I pay in my tuition fee. My tuition fee is 11,000, not euro, not dollars, it's rupees. 11,000 rupees is my tuition fee. Yeah. So that separates Germany. It's a public university. All public universities are free in Germany, and the only way to get into Germany is through IB. You can't go through CBSE. It's the hardest way possible, and you will just get fed up. Yeah. So yeah, there are scholarships. I agree, there totally are scholarships, but it can be a similar way of saying that India has high quality institutes, but those are only IITs and ISCRs. Yeah, and not everyone can go to the IIT and ISCRs. Those are the people who get high grades or have a high extracurricular background. But Germany gives you a possibility to, with whatever marks you have, to get into a public university and study for free. And you can obviously work part-time and manage your expenses. But yeah, you have the opportunity to a vast background. Yeah. So just believe in yourself and research for what you actually want to do, and sky's the limit. You just have to believe in yourself and research about it. That's all I can share. And if you have any doubt, just question me up in the Q&A session. I'll be happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ray. That was very gratifying. We now have with us Akshita Agarwal, our alumnus batch 2016, a student at Hollins University, Virginia, USA, to share her experiences in IBDP at DPSG.
Akshita, you need to unmute yourself.
So sorry, can you hear me now? Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, great. Go ahead.
All right, sorry about that. So I was just saying that I'm really, really excited to connect with everybody virtually. Sorry about the little glitch. All the presentations have been really very interesting so far. So hopefully I would have something of value to add, something that might help you in your research. A little bit about myself first. So my name is Akshata Agarwal. I study at Hollins University. It's a small liberal arts college in Southwest Virginia in the US. And yeah, let's get into it. So if you're thinking of IB, you might be thinking, okay, how exactly would IB help me in getting into a US university? And more importantly, when I am there in the US university, how exactly would that help me in my journey? So in my opinion, IB courses are basically like high school versions of the courses that US universities teach. So the courses in IB they generally tend to be writing intensive. They are public speaking intensive, like you have to speak up in class. And those two things are also things that are shared by the like those are two characteristics that are shared by US university courses as well. You are required to speak up in class if you want to do well, and you are required to write a lot of essays and things like that. Also, I would like to add that from my personal experience, students who are from IBDP programs tend to do much better in college courses in the US. They're just not as lost. I mean, I'm not saying this just because I graduated with an IB diploma. I really mean it. Second is that with the IBDP program, you get a lot of opportunities to participate in extracurricular programs. So, and then you might be wondering, well, why should I do that? So you might have heard of this thing called Statement of Purpose, or SOP. You're required to do that. You're required to write a Statement of Purpose to get admissions into a US university, and I believe other universities in other countries as well. So, but though for US universities, you're required to write one, and you usually have to base it on your life experiences. Like you have to base it on something that caused you trauma or something that made you grow as a person. And if you don't participate in extracurricular activities while you're in high school, it's going to be really, really hard to make a good statement of purpose. Because if all you did was take courses, take exams, what are you going to write that statement of purpose on? So this is where the IBDP program comes in. If you do CAS, if you do TOK, you're going to have a lot of life experiences, and you can write the statement of purpose on those experiences. Secondly, you are, in my experience, you are much better prepared for internship opportunities in the US. It's much easier to apply for internships if you are an IBDP program, if you have an IBDP diploma in the US. And lastly, it's also much easier to, again, so you have access to better scholarship opportunities and better credit opportunities in the US. So what exactly do I mean by that? So in the US, I would have to say that there are basically two types of universities. One of them are public universities, which are basically they're funded by the government, the state government, or the federal government. And the other are private universities. I would say generally private universities are much better about giving funding to international students than public universities, just because they have their own funds and they don't rely on government funding. So you don't have to be a citizen of the US or have to be, born in any, US state to get their funding. So that's just a little tip for you. Okay, how do you get scholarships? Well, I think that universities in the US offer preferential treatment to IB graduates. I'm pretty certain about that. Also, you can, as Shrey mentioned, you can graduate in 3 years. So you're saving 1/3 of your entire tuition cost, like for your entire undergraduate right there. It's very possible to graduate in 3 years because you can skip a lot of courses that universities offer. And how can you do that? Well, basically you just talk to your advisor and they can usually tell you how you can do that. So I think that's a lot of savings in my opinion. More importantly, you can also get part-time jobs on campus. If you have an IBDP program, they're usually more likely to hire you just because you have had an intense academic background. You have had a lot of academic training, so they're usually more likely to hire you. They're more willing to hire you. So that's another way that you can fund yourself. If I didn't emphasize it in the past, you can absolutely transfer courses. So for example, if you do a biology course in IB, and if you do it at an HL level and you do end up getting a 6 or a 7, which is a very high score, You can skip some of the introductory, like first year courses in universities in the US. And you could just say that because I did this IBDP program, I already have the training that I need. So that is how you can complete your degree in the US in 3 years instead of 4. And I can take any questions if that's possible. That's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Akshita. That was indeed heartwarming. We now cordially invite our principal, Ms. Sangeeta Mukherjee Roy, a progressive educationist and a charismatic leader, to share her valuable thoughts with us. Over to ma'am.
Greetings to all. It's an honor and a privilege to be amongst the esteemed panel members, Akshita, Mahesh, Sagar, and Arun, and a joy to be able to connect with my alumni, students, and parents. Delhi Public School Ghaziabad Meerut Road provides a challenging learning environment by running an innovative parallel curriculum, International Baccalaureate. By integrating IB, PYP, and DP simulation educational program, the school offers practical training, intellectual engagement, and international mindedness by developing higher order cognitive skills and academic behavior of the learners that enhances the knowledge and skills necessary to participate actively and responsibly in the demanding and challenging 21st century fast changing world. In keeping with the prime aim of DPSG's vision of imparting progressive education to its students, the school offers International Baccalaureate IB PYP program from grade nursery to grade 5 and the diploma program for grades 11 and grade 12. We enjoy the repute of being the only school in Ghaziabad to offer the International Baccalaureate curriculum. It's a matter of great pride to bring to your notice that DPSG is one of the highest numbers of students enrolled in PYP across the world. DPSG Meerut Road is affiliated to International Baccalaureate Organization since 2014, and we are proud to share that 4 batches of our IBDP students have successfully passed out and are admitted in international and national universities of great repute on scholarship on the basis of their IBDP course credits. Student exchange programs with 12 countries is a testimony to the school's endeavor to create and nurture active and engaged participants in an interconnected world. In DPSG Meerut Road, the International Baccalaureate programs emphasize on education beyond the confines of the classroom and focus on the fullest possible development of the students, encouraging them to become the finest versions of themselves and enabling them to experience life and reach their goals. DPSG Meerut Road aligns with the vision of International Baccalaureate programs, which is that the students experienced a well-rounded academic journey that empathizes their critical thinking and that exposes them to a variety of points of view in order to become confident individuals who are able to respond to challenges with optimism and be prepared to apply what they learn in our complex and unpredictable world. The IBDP structure requires our faculty to be trained by IB themselves. The standards and practices which the school is required to adhere to ensures compliances resulting in teaching and learning which can be benchmarked with the best in the world. DPSG Meerut Road IB program emphasizes academic rigor, international mindedness, and helps students to develop a unique set of skills, attitudes, and perspectives they need to succeed at university and life beyond. IB students learn more effectively and independently, and that this allows them to be more confident and increases their chances to enter the highest ranking universities around the world. As IBDP has a high acceptance rate and an increased academic opportunities, students holding an IB diploma have higher university and college acceptance rate than applicants who have studied under other boards. Universities across 110 countries recognize the IB diploma, as we have already discussed, and it also opens up arena for increased scholarship opportunities with greater chances of being granted scholarships. The school DPSG Meerut Road Ghaziabad campus has started the IBDP batch for 2021-22. Please do share your questions and queries, and you can connect with us all. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Your constant encouragement has always been a source of inspiration for all of us. We now have a short presentation to give you a glimpse of the IB Diploma program in our school.
DPSG Meerut Road welcomes you to the webinar on International Baccalaureate Diploma Program, or the IBDP, a pre-university course for grades 11th and 12th. In the words of Jonathan Cole, you cannot fully understand your own life without knowing and thinking beyond your own life, your own neighborhood, and even your own nation. This sums up the philosophy of IB, which encourages students to become active, compassionate, and lifelong learners who understand that other people with their differences can also be right. The key features. It's the fastest growing pre-university course for students who are 16 to 18 years old. It's equivalent to class 12 CBSE, IAC, State Board, but it is much more. It's a global qualification which can lead to access to top universities around the world. Started in Geneva in 1968, it is at present recognized by 200 countries. The reason why it's so successful as a program is it is based on a set of values. These values bring consistency to the curriculum, though it adapts to the needs of the world, but it is not subject to changing standards. The values are at the core of IB and are defined by the learner profiles. The learners strive to be independent inquirers, thinkers, who are knowledgeable and are eager to explore new ideas, unfamiliar situations with courage and forethought. In a world where change is the only constant, they are open-minded who respect and appreciate varied perspectives. They are caring, principled learners who reflect on their learning and their experience. Why IB Diploma? It's a pre-university course with a wider perspective. It develops extensive research skills. The curriculum is structured and consistent. But most importantly, it brings in academic rigor and a determination to learn independently. Why IB Diploma program is ideal preparation for the university. It offers academic breadth and depth. Its qualification is recognized by universities around the world. It cultivates an international mindset. It encourages critical thinking. What does this essentially mean is it develops a set of skills that would help the learners to learn, work, research independently, the way they are expected to work in the university. They also have a rich, interesting learning journey to talk about. Such learners are more likely to join the leading universities of the world and be successful in their higher education. The IB Diploma subjects. There are 6 subjects: literature, second language, mathematics, humanities, science, and arts. Apart from these subjects, what lies at the core of IBDP and makes it so unique and rich is the extended essay, theory of knowledge, creativity, activity, and service. Theory of knowledge is a philosophical investigation based around 2 key questions. What do I know? Area of knowledge. How do I know what I know? What are the ways of knowing? Extended essay is a 4,000 words, fully researched piece of work on an area that interests the learner. Coming to creativity, activity, and service. Creativity is a search for the creative pursuits of a person. The learners might engage in painting, literary compositions, choreography, music lessons, fine arts, theatre, sculpture, leading to a performance given to the community. Activity is an involvement in sports, be it team sports or individual sports. It might also mean adventure activities or outdoor expeditions like skating, rock climbing, mountain climbing, etc. Service is reaching out to the community and helping through home visits, working in orphanages, nursing homes, tutoring the juniors, leading to some contribution to the social cause. The IBDP subjects offered at DPSG are Group 1, English Language and Literature, Group 2, Hindi, French, German, Spanish, Group 3, Economics, Business Management, Psychology, Group 4, Physics, the Sciences, Physics, Chemistry, Biology, Computer Science. Group 3 and 4 is an interdisciplinary approach to learn environmental systems and societies. Group 5 is the Mathematics, Mathematics Analysis and Approaches, and Mathematics Application and Interpretation. Group 6 involves learning visual arts. Coming back to Group 2, French and Spanish can be learned ab initio. What it means is these two languages can be learned in this school right from the beginning. What sets IB courses apart? The students must select 6 subjects, 3 at a higher level and 3 at a standard level, and complete the DP core. The students must complete internal assessments in each subject, the scores of which combine with the IB exams to give the student an IB grade, which might range from 1 till 7. Students earn the IB diploma with a score of at least 24 points out of 45. The IBDP board exams are conducted during April-May. Access to global universities and Indian universities. Leading universities throughout the world recognize the IB diploma for admission to undergraduate programs. The children very conveniently settle to such university culture. Talking about the top colleges in India, they also accept IBDP learners. With the requirement for percentage conversion by universities in India, students applying to Indian universities receive a transcript with IB grades. We proudly announce that DPSG becomes the first IB World School in Ghaziabad to offer primary year program and diploma program. We also take immense pride in announcing that 4 batches of IBDP Class 12 have passed out with a striking average well above the world average for 3 consecutive years. Commendable indeed. We have 100% diploma achievers for consecutively 3 years. 70% students are placed in international universities with scholarship and course credits. 30% students are placed in reputed Indian colleges and universities, which include Delhi University and IMS Ghaziabad, Amity, etc. Congratulations to our IBDP achievers. We wish them success in all their future endeavors. We also look forward to learners enrolling into this program and coming out with flying colors. We thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for the presentation. Now the floor is open for Q&A session. I request the audience, the participants to raise their hand for any questions to the panelist, and also can type in the chat box. And you can send a message to us in case of any technical glitch. We are ready to answer. Dr. Arun, that's a question. Other than UK and US, which are the other countries that you suggest the IBDP students to pursue their higher studies with the affordable fee structure without the quality of education being not compromised?
Like many, many universities like here, Singapore, very close, Singapore, NUS, NTU, Japan, Osaka University, and Australia. They are the two spokesmen. One lady, she told us fantastically presented with Australia and New Zealand. This east side and west side, France, Germany. Our student is there from Germany. He said very cheap. Yes, totally cheap. Education is free in Germany. Denmark, Netherlands, US, all the liberal arts college, they give very, very high amount of money. Like more than 80% sometimes they offer the scholarship. And there's a lot of freedom for the student. So yeah, I don't think any university will refuse to give scholarship, number one. And number two, I don't think any student will struggle to get a scholarship if they go through IBDP path.
Thank you, sir.
Quickly, while I'm not supposed to endorse any particular university, I will say very confidently that there are colleges and universities, say the Central University of Hong Kong, say the UAE.
Yes, Hong Kong, I forgot, yeah.
UAE Abu Dhabi gives great, the City University of New York in Abu Dhabi gives fantastic financial aid. We work very closely with Nest Academy in Dubai as part of the WACP for IBDP students to get admission even in Dubai, right? So those are very, very affordable. Sometimes some of them are maybe even cheaper than studying in India. So those options are available.
Yeah.
I would say that, there are good prospects for admissions with IBDP even in India. Don't ignore them. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. And there's a question to Mr. Magesh. How the growth and development of IB diploma program is foreseen in India in the coming years as the new education policy is rolled out in India, which is slightly or like mostly it's aligned towards the IB diploma program or the IB methodology, I can say.
So I will take a long-winded approach, bear with me. So the NEP is completely aligned with IB, that is for sure. And they are also trying to bring that concept of 6 subjects or doing away with academic streams like, engineering or medicine or commerce stream, right? They are also trying to make it holistic, number one. Number two, one of the most important changes which they are looking at is doing away with high-stake assessment. Okay, be it your NTA, be it your NEET and all, they are looking at it very seriously. I believe that is going to help IB and IBDP students quite a lot. And the IB is growing. I can tell you, we are working with schools in Tier 2, Tier 3. They are candidate schools, okay, across India. Today we have schools in, Bhilwara and so on, offering the IBDP. Your school, Ghaziabad, okay, Meerut Road, right, is a great example of where you can find a good IBDP education. So we have schools both from now we have IB schools, be it PYP or other programs, right, all the way from Jammu, Udhampur to Namakkal and so on and so forth, Cochin and Trivandrum as well. So there are plenty of IB schools. IB is growing very well, and both IBDP, IBCP will offer schools a great opportunity. So go for it.
Thank you, sir. The next question to Ashini. How about the course credits offered for the IBDP students in Griffith University?
Yeah, thank you, Gopal Raj, for the question. Like I mentioned during my presentation, there are up to a semester credits can be offered to a student. So which means if it's a 3-year degree, it will be 2.5-year degree. So mostly business programs or health degrees do offer credits for students who've done IBDP. So some subjects. So we have a dedicated page on IBDP recognition, credit transfers, and how to apply. So there's a dedicated page on Griffith University's website that will really help students to sail through the credits arrangement.
Thank you, ma'am. Next question to Mr. Sagar. So the question was like, in Queensland, what is the best course the students choose from? The international students.
Yeah, thank you for the question. I think it totally depends on what the student is looking at. Like I presented, it's a comprehensive university, so we're offering anything and everything from management to business to engineering, medical, agriculture. You can think of anything. So from India, which I mentioned, we have a lot of interest from IB schools when it comes to traditional programs like business management, engineering and those kind of things. But then off late, we are seeing interest coming in the fields of arts, social sciences, international relations. And I think that's one trend that as a university, we've also thought of working with schools more to understand, how can we, educate the audience more about the scope of these programs, the career outcomes. But in general, if students want to know, I think we get good interest in mostly all areas which are very prevalent in India.
So, mostly the students ask for investment banking. Now there's a crash on this course, investment banking.
Yes, so our business school is, highly ranked. We have multiple programs in and around investment banking. I mean, there are majors around it. We generally have, we don't have a specific program fully built around it, but within the existing programs, there are majors and minors that lead you to investment banking. So yes, like I mentioned, business, accountancy, finance, economics, these are very popular programs when it comes to Indian students for us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Question to Akshita. Is IB diploma program is that stressful? And what are your advice that you are going to give to your students, those who are enrolling in IB diploma program, and how to organize it? Because you organize very well in the terms of submission of the internal assessments, the deadlines that you have followed, you have researched a lot. So how you managed it? So what are the tips that you are going to give it to our students?
Great question. I would say that I think it's very important to plan things out. Like, I think Gopal sir is a great resource for that. So if you just ask Gopal sir, I'm pretty sure that he will help you like make a plan. So there are some things that you need to do in your first year, and then there's things like your extended essay. So I think I would recommend that you get started on your extended essay like before the second half of your first year, because that's going to help you a lot, because it'll be great if you can get a head start on that. Most people usually don't start until the summer of their second year. So there are things like that. You start your extended essay early, start your TOK early, don't ignore them. They are very important. They're worth 3 extra points. And for your internal submissions, I would say because you have to pay a lot of attention to your HL programs. So, and that being said, SLs are also important. So, I mean, my one general advice would be if there's something that you can take away from this answer, it would be that make a plan. There are some things that you need to do in your first year, and there are other things that can be managed in your second year. And I think about the specifics, you should talk to Gopal sir about that, because it depends on you as well. Depends on your interests and things like that. So make a plan and stick with it and execute it. So that's my advice.
Thank you, Akshita. And a question to Shrey. I remember you are convincing a parent a lot. So you are interested in choosing diploma program, and you approached me, and then you decided to join diploma program, but you went back to CBSE program. Then you came back after 2 weeks. So what made you to choose the diploma program? That's number one. And how did you convince your parent?
Yeah, okay. So it was like my best friend was in diploma program, and I know he was going abroad. The thing was, I always had this huge interest in going abroad, because I always used to see my relatives coming like from Perth, from Calgary, and they used to be like, yeah, it's so boring in India. Like, yeah, they used to be like, a backdrop in us being restricted to this particular subcontinent. I always had this dream of going abroad other than the travel stuff. So yeah, I wanted a platform, and when I first entered to IB, I was like just going through the place. But the way Raghav and my friends told me about IB, I joined. For those 2 weeks, my coordinator wrote it just for the 2 weeks. You are exempted to, like, you are allowed to enter into IB and attend the classes. But wallah, I attended it for 1 month, and regardless of her knowing or not, and I loved it. And it was such a tricky situation. I want to tell that the summer break was about to start. It was around a month. I haven't joined the classes back in CBSE. I was just going through the IB part in the summer, before the summer break. The summer break started. 2 months went past. I convinced my parents, and then I joined the IB. So it was a kind of a situation which not everyone wants to experience, but yeah, I got it anyway, and I'm really, really satisfied with what my decision was.
Thank you. Thank you, Shrey. Any hands, any audience have raised their hands? Madhu ma'am, can you just coordinate?
Raised hand. I think they have all asked the queries. Sir, I cannot see any raised hands.
Okay, ma'am. I think we should come to an end of the Q&A session.
And
I'm sure that
I will. Sorry,
Yes.
ma'am. Sir, I would like for a suggestion that if any student comes for a reference to the for the Germany, you can give him or her my number or my email. Yeah, I'll be happy to help. Just for the fact that they research first and not just ask questions. They should research.
Great. Thank you so much. So sweet of you, Shrey. We'll definitely share your number, and you are associated with us. We can call you anytime, and you are with us anytime, and you will be supporting us, and we'll be supporting you. And thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And I'm sure this interaction will go a long way in enabling our students to take informed decisions about their future. We now invite Mr. Gopal Raj Rangaswamy to please propose the vote of thanks.
Yes. Yeah, very good evening to everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to propose this vote of thanks to our eminent guest on behalf of Delhi Public School, Ghaziabad. I express my sincere and heartfelt gratitude to the eminent speakers and our alumni members for sparing their valuable time from their busy schedules and kindly acceding to our request to join this webinar today. I need to mention their time zone as well. And good morning, Akshita, and good evening for us, and good night for the people in Australia and China. I also wish to offer my deep gratitude and heartfelt thanks to our dynamic principal, Ms. Sangeeta Mukherjee Roy, for standing by us and guiding us in all our endeavors. Thank you, ma'am. Last but not the least, our sincere thanks to the school administrative and technical team, without whose unflinching efforts and involvement, the event would not have been possible. Thank you one and all, and thank you from India.
Thank you, Gopal. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
everybody.
Thank you, everyone.